Yes, sir. Woo, baby. What is going on, everybody? If anyone, you know what? I'm actually going to do this real quick here because I want the people to know that I am live for my week 2 preview featuring the Ohio State Buckeyes making their first, well, playing their first game at the shoe of the year in front of what I estimate to be about 100,000 people. No big deal. No, it's no biggie, just going to have a small freaking country in your seats, sitting in your stands. That's not bad, 100K. Small, that's a population of some small cities, man. Of some of these like large capital cities, man. It's crazy. There we go. All right, now that people know I am live for this, my internet was playing pranks on me earlier, so it would not surprise me if it cut out today, but I don't think I have too much of a problem. I probably barbecued my friggin' alert, my notifications. People probably got a notif, and by the time they got there, I was already done because my freaking internet freaking kicked me out. But anyways, let's talk about Oregon and Ohio State, of course. These two teams have met 9 times in their history, and Ohio State has won every single game. First meeting was a long time ago, and once this thing loads up, I can get you the correct freaking stats. The longest win streak was 9, and the biggest margin of victory for us, obviously, 30-0. Be great if this thing could load up. That would be fantastic. It would be great if Winspedia would load up for your boy. But yeah, Ohio State's 9-0. First meeting in 1958. They've met 9 times. They've met, of course, the last 2 times in the postseason, pretty much. And I will say they were not really that. I mean, it'd be great if Winspedia could freaking load up. Thank you very much. So I can continue on with this thing. But while we wait for Winspedia, because they're of course going to take 3 years to load up, let's take a look at the rosters. Yeah, I don't know why this freaking winning thing it's just not going to show up, I guess. Okay, that's cool. Well, I got this. So Ohio State first ever meeting was in the Rose Bowl. They won 10-7. Obviously, we won every game. Then we met in 1961, won 22-12. 1962, they won 26-7. Then, of course, came the 30-0 blowout in 1967 in Eugene, Oregon. They've only played in Eugene 1 time through all these meetings. They were supposed to play there last year, but you know what happened. Yeah. After that, we won 21-6, 1968. They didn't meet again until 1983, where Ohio State won 31-6. Then 1987, we won 24-14. And then in the modern era, since 2000, we've met twice, both in the postseason, again in the Rose Bowl. We won 26-17. And then, of course, 2015, Ohio State took down Marcus Mariota and the Ducks 42-20 to secure another national championship. And boy, oh boy, man. If I was an Oregon fan right now, I would be like praying on my knees that they come out and freaking win this game. Now it looks like freaking our lads isn't freaking responding to me tonight. Man, my internet has turned these websites against me today. Tough. Nothing wants to work for me today. Let's just look up Oregon Ducks depth chart. This has me nervous for tomorrow. Okay, let's see if this works. It wants to work now. Okay. Just got to use the Google path. So we look at the Oregon Ducks because we already know what Ohio State has to offer. By the way, another receiver had his black stripe removed. I'll get you that news here in a second. And we got some other news as well regarding a transfer linebacker. But we look at our opponent in the Oregon Ducks. Quarterback, Anthony Brown, grad transfer. Running backs, they have redshirt junior, CJ Verdell, Travis Dye, who's a junior, Trey Benson. Those are probably going to be the three guys we're going to see. Tight ends, they have Spencer Webb, Moliki Mataveo, DJ Johnson, Terrence Ferguson, as well as Cam McCormick and Cooper Schultz. And then they also have Spencer Webb so they have some nice looking tight ends there. Now the biggest matchup is going to be their offensive line versus our defensive line. Because if Zach Harrison gets past their offensive lineman, it's going to be tough. Haskell the rascal, had a freaking scoop and score. You don't know how Oregon is currently now a 14.5-point dog. Injury news on Oregon's side is in question. Tough. Yeah, I've heard they've had some injury things going on. Kayvon Thibodeau, their best player, arguably one of the best players in the nation. He hurt his ankle last week. He's in Columbus, as is one of the linebackers, Flo. I think it's Justin Flo. But you look at their offensive line: George Moore at left tackle, TJ Bass, Alex Forsyth, Ryan Walk, and Stephen Jones. Those are going to be the guys charged with the task of keeping Zach Harrison, Haskell Garrett, and the others away from Anthony Brown. That's going to be a tough task. Now, when you look at their, I'm going to pull up Ohio State's thing too, because I just don't want to make it sound awkward here. Probably sound hella awkward right now. Ohio State depth chart. Like I said, Ohio State doesn't really release depth charts much anymore. Kind of sucks, but hey, it's their choice. So let's do a little comparison. Let's do little matchups here. So like I said, the offensive line versus our defensive line of Zach Harrison, Haskell the Rascal, Teron Vincent, and Tyreek Smith. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. Tyreek and Zach Harrison are very good at getting to the quarterback. Zach Harrison, I believe, was the guy that actually got the strip sack that Haskell the Rascal took to the house. And then he got guys like Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, who Oregon wanted. Of course, we won the Tuimoloau sweepstakes, so that was fantastic. But also, today we got some fantastic news regarding a linebacker. I believe his name is Paliai Teote? God, that's a mouthful. He's from USC, and I watched a little bit of highlights on that dude. Oh, my God. Now, here's the funky thing about this whole, was it Nateote? Naote. Okay. Ote. Oh, my goodness. Yesterday, he was ruled ineligible. The NFL, the NCAA denied his transfer eligibility. They said, you're not eligible this year. But then today, they come out and say, no, he's eligible. It's did Ryan Day send the thugs after him or something? Damn. Did they send the thugs out and be like, you better freaking... Well, maybe Ohio State said, hey, Alabama had a dude freaking do the same thing, but he's eligible. Why can't you make our guy eligible? Dang it. Huh? What are you doing? Man. And they're like, yeah, you're right. We can't have that. He's eligible. Yeah, but you look at the Oregon receivers, Troy Franklin, Johnny Johnson III, Micah Pittman, who is the brother of current Colts receiver Michael Pittman. You have Isaiah Crocker, Dante Thornton, Jalen Redd. They have a nice-looking receiving core. What they'll be going up against in our secondary, Sevyn Banks, hopefully Cameron Brown, Lathan Ransom will be like a kind of safety corner type, Marcus Williamson as well, Lejean Cavazis, Ryan Watts, and, Demario McCall or Ja'Kalen Johnson. Yeah. Young secondary. Then, of course, you have like Marcus Hooker, Marcus Williamson and Hooker, and then Jansen Dunn and Cameron Martinez. So it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup in the secondary. We'll see who's matched up on who. We'll see if Sevyn Banks and Cam Brown even play. People, they've been hurt and everything. They said like Sevyn, I guess, could have played last week in an emergency, but they said they held him out for, safety reasons and stuff. They wanted to be sure he was all right, and he is. So let's get it. Linebacker, we got, of course, Taraja Mitchell, Cody Simon, Craig Young. You already know the guys. I don't need to go through them anymore. You know who they are. And, of course, possibly, could we see Mr. Nayote? Is it not, or is it got it? I'm going to have to listen to see how the announcers say it. From what I've heard, it sounds like it's saying not Ote. I don't know. It's going to be fun learning his name throughout the year. Ohio State should win. The question is if they cover the spread. That's spread now that it went from 14 to 14.5. I think we could easily cover. I think the way this game's going to go, I think Ohio State kind of tests out Oregon in the first half. They're probably going to play. I think you're going to have 100K in the stadium for the first time in over a year. Last year, we barely had anyone. The only people allowed were friends and family of the players. So you probably had a couple thousand people there. Now you're going to have a pretty much full stadium. The only thing is, I wish this game was later. It's a freaking noon kickoff. I wish this game was like at 3 or something because that'd be dope. If this game was a night game, oh my God. Could you just imagine the crowd? Damn. But hey, I'll take it. It's a noon kickoff. Get it out of the way, right? This should be a fun one. I'm excited to see what Ryan Day and Kerry Combs and them have in store. Because I know this team's going to be pumped up. That place better be bumping. By the way, if you are watching this stream right now, which you might be, maybe there's Ohio State, players, possibly. You never know. I doubt it. They're probably freaking sleeping by now. Damn, if I was a football player right now, I'd probably be passed out in my bed. They probably have, of course, they usually have a certain time for like lights out, and they're probably passed out in their beds. Well, being as you're going to have to be at the stadium hella early tomorrow, they better be freaking sleeping. If you're an Ohio State player and you're watching me right now, get your ass to bed. Sleep. Don't make me don't make me rat you out. I'm like, hey, coach, there's a player that's not sleeping. He's watching my stream right now. He's supposed to be in bed, and he's not. Get to bed. You got a big game tomorrow. No, they're all probably chilling in their freaking rooms, probably passed out or damn near close. Because it's 11:11 at night. By the way, make a wish. But you look at how our offense stacks up against their defense, it's going to be a tough task for their defense. They barely beat freaking Fresno. And, of course, like I said, Kayvon Thibodeau, I think he'll play. But is he really going to be 100%? Don't know. But they got Brandon Dorless, Popo, what the heck? Amavai, at nose tackle. And then Keon Ware-Hudson. That's their front three, according to our lads. They have Sua'ava Poti, Jason Jones, Christian Williams as their backups. At linebacker, you got, of course, the Joker. I guess that's literally the position title. Kayvon Thibodeau. You have Masai Funa, Noah Sewell. I believe he is the brother of Panay, and Justin Flo, who I believe I heard was hurt. I mean, I haven't really heard anything, definite. Then you have their corners. Trequezy Bridges, Steve Stevens, Verone McKinley, Michael Wright, and Bennett Williams. That's their secondary. Also, Jamal Hill is back, I guess. They have a couple guys, I think, that were out, like DJ James maybe too. They have Dante Manning. A lot of these guys on their defense were like top premier recruits. I like to bet college football, so I always like to learn, especially from people that know their teams. But yeah, man, if you want to learn about Ohio State, I'll gladly teach you. But like you look at their defense, a lot of 5 stars. Of course, Dante Manning. I think they were actually in the running for Keely Ringo too, but he went to Georgia. So they missed out on him. Thibodeau, of course, top prospect, top guy coming out of high school. Noah Sewell, I think he was up there. Justin Flo, Manning, like I said, they have quite a few of those guys. But then you look on our offensive side, and our offense is as loaded as their defense is. They're going to have a very hard time stopping our offense, especially because I expect them. I mean, he even said, like Ryan Day even came out he didn't officially come out and say it, but we're all getting that vibe. Like they're going to cut down on the rotations. Because I noticed last week, and a lot of people did too, they rotated a lot of people into that game on defense. I think they're going to cut down on the rotations, and they're going to pick out their best players for that. Didn't really help that you were missing some guys too, but we'll see how that goes. On offense, I expect to see a lot of Travion Henderson because, I mean, I watched his highlights from high school. And what I saw in high school, well, yeah, fast, big kid. Good luck bringing him down. And then he scored on a play that was like, yep, that's what he does. That's exactly what he does. Get him in space and just watch him turn on the jets, and he's gone. I saw that speed that I saw in his highlights from high school. He didn't even play in this, I think, senior year because, was it North Carolina or something? Virginia. I think it's Virginia. They did not have a season. So he's like, instead of transferring to Ohio, which he could have easily did, that's what a lot of our guys did that are not from Ohio. Like for next year, a couple kids transferred to Ohio schools, I guess, to get used to the environment and play with some future Buckeyes as well. Now, a lot of Buckeye fans are not big fans of Master Teague, especially after what Mayan Williams did. Took one to the house, didn't see him for like an hour afterwards. It's like, did they just literally have this dude score and just forget about him? They freaking pulled the Zeke, bro, from the Cowboys game. They just didn't use him until like later on in the game, and he came in and he got a couple good runs. We even saw Marcus Crowley too. I was like, who the heck is that dude, bro? Who the heck is this dude with the flow? And it's like, oh, that's Marcus Crowley. Oh, okay. Well, we're probably not going to see a lot of him this week because now they're going to start whittling down on the rotations and they're going to be giving the ball to their best players. I expect to see a healthy dose of Travion and Mayan Williams tomorrow. And then, of course, at tight end, you got Jeremy Ruckert, Cade Stover, G. Scott, former receiver, now tight end. We'll see how much of him we see tomorrow. And then offensive line, Petit Frere, Munford, Miller, Johnson, Jones. You know the deal there. Now, what I'm really excited for is our receiving core. Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, arguably two of the best receivers in the nation, going up against the Oregon Ducks secondary. We saw how they were doing last week. CJ Stroud, you can tell he just started to he got comfortable. The balls were going right into the hands. I mean, early on in the game, the dude was over. He was like airmailing his receivers. He was missing his target. But as he settled in, he was hitting guys, and of course, they were wide open. Can you believe it? People on Twitter were freaking saying, oh, yeah, they're getting wide open. It's like, well, that's what they're supposed to do. That's what happens when you have elite receivers. Of course, they're going to get open. I mean, it's what they do. They're damn good. It's what Brian Hartline has in these guys, man. I mean, he's turning these two into legit freaks. Chris Olave, I'll be honest. When he first came to Ohio State, I was like, yo, who is this Olave kid? No lie. I literally said Chris Olive. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I first saw his name. I was like, Chris Olive. Okay. And then, yeah, he's damn good. And then he got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who we did see a little bit of last week. Not a whole lot. I expect to see maybe more of him, especially because I expect Oregon to double, triple team around there, Wilson and Olave. They're going to be probably shading coverage to those two all night long. They're not going to let them beat them. They're going to be like, we're not going to let Olave and Wilson beat us. We got to make them beat us with somebody else. It's like, and then Ryan Day's like, all right, bet we got. Oh, you're just going to cover our two elite receivers? Well, we got a couple more where that came from. Mecca Buka, Julian Fleming, two of the top receivers in their classes. Marvin, if I want to see him, I want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. tomorrow. I want to see a baby Marvin sighting tomorrow. I want to see him catch a touchdown. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Colts fans that may be watching will be like, oh my God, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. Holy crap. Marvin's got a kid. They'd be like, oh wow, that's so nice seeing a Harrison Jr. in the end zone again. But it's going to be very tough for both sides. I expect the first half to be more of a feeling out. And then second half, if I know Ohio State, they're going to turn up. I feel like first half, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a feeling out. Get, probe your opponent for weaknesses. And then second half, they're just going to turn up like they've been known to do. If I know a Ryan Day Ohio State team, they're a second half team. We've seen it in the freaking championship games and such, especially the Big Ten title games the last couple of years. They look kind of blah in the first half. They come out and they turn up in the second half. What is best Ohio State game you're looking forward to this year in schedule? You already know. The game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game in November. Of course, every Buckeye fan is looking forward to that game. You're not a true Buckeye fan if you're not looking forward to that game because we didn't get to face them last year. They ducked us, low-key. No pun intended. They ducked us. Yeah. We were ready to play them. And then, they had a little, the sickness was running rampant through their team and everything, through their school, and they didn't hesitate to cancel the game. Not to mention, Buckeye fans feel like they did that just to spite us because they knew that if we had one more game canceled, because we had 2 games canceled previously against, ironically, teams with a turtle involved, the Terps and then the Illinois, which is, I guess, like a turtle trophy. Illinois game and the Maryland game were canceled. So it's like they knew, oh yeah, if we cancel one more game, they won't be eligible for the Big Ten title. Yeah, let's be trolls. And they canceled. But then the Big Ten's like, well, I mean, we can't not have Ohio State in the title game. I mean, they're the best team in the freaking Big Ten. Wisconsin was already booted out because of the amount of games that they had canceled. And people were kind of probably mad about that. Oh, how come Ohio State gets to play, but we don't? It's like, come on. It's called being good. Owning the division, owning the freaking conference for so damn long. You get favors. And they sort of like, okay, well, bend the rules just a little bit just so you can get in. And look what happened. Yeah, we had a little bit of trouble with Northwestern. But like I said, second half, they came out, did their business, go to the freaking Final Four, go to the playoff, curb stomp Trevor Lawrence into the dirt, send him to Jacksonville. And yeah, we lost to Alabama, but let's be honest, Alabama was like a freaking God-sent super team. They were beyond super team status. Like, that was insane, like, what they had. And not to mention, we really weren't in the best mode, I guess. But, hey, it's whatever. Torching a Kerry Combs defense. Tough. Oh, yeah. Well, Trey Sermon, I think, got hurt, first play of the game in that one. That was just not fun from the beginning. Now, if I had to do like a Browns-ish style, little thing to this stream here, 3 keys to victory. It's pretty much, score a lot. But no, I would love to see us get after Anthony Brown a little bit, especially if it's like JT or, I would love another Haskell the Rascal scoop and score. That would be dope. Also, Josh Proctor, my dude, literally cannot get an interception. He gets it, and then it's always taken away. I think he could get one. This week. I think Josh Proctor finally gets another pick. This one will stand. And I'm going to be bold, and I think we're going to have a Nate Ote freaking sighting. Ote. Oh my God, that's going to be a nightmare to freaking pronounce. Just to say it, like, just, he's like one of those, like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say that dude, number 21, and of course his number's 21. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Why not? Of course it's 21. I think it is. At least that's what I heard. But maybe we see him tomorrow. Imagine he comes in and gets a freaking turnover. It's like, well, he would know Oregon. He played for USC. That would be cool. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I said about half hour. It's going on a half an hour. So I am pretty much going to wrap up this live stream, guys. And anyone watching on replay, be sure to, and anyone watching, whether replay or live, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more. And I'll be back next week for one of these babies, as I'll be previewing our matchup against the Golden Hurricane out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And yes, if you're wondering, I will also be previewing the Akron game the next week after. That game is going to be a blowout. That's going to be the game where we're going to see like Jack Miller, maybe. I know someone's going to say, are we going to see Ewers in that game? Probably not. I doubt it. It's probably just going to be freaking Stroud, Miller, and McCord for that Akron game. If we're beating them bad enough, maybe Ewers slips in there for a drive just to get the fans riled up, get some energy, but I don't think we're going to see him at all. He is enrolled, and he is on the team, but we're not going to see him at all. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Like, for real. I doubt we're going to ever see him this year. That would be the game where he would play, though. That would be the game. But again, I don't think we're going to see him. But my dogs are telling me to freaking stop it. So I'm going to wrap it up for this live stream, guys. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for Ohio State and Oregon. Kickoff at noon. I'll be live about 11:50. Maybe give or take a few minutes. We'll see. But yeah, should be fun. So with that being said, guys, I'm Crazy Dog at 99. Let's go, Tribe. And I'm out. OHIO. Go Bucks.